Hey, this is former WWE superstar and ECW original, The Blue Meanie. And you're watching the Tell Us About Yourself show on Foxworthy 257. Now, if you're looking to watch a show about people who play the Super Show wrestling card and dice game, I highly recommend it. The Blue Meanie told you! The Blue Meanie sent you to watch Foxworthy 257, or else I'll come get you.
My name is Brian Pillman Jr., and you are watching Tell Us About Yourself, only on Foxworthy 257 Twitch channel.
Hi guys, I'm Session Martina, and you are watching Tell Us About Yourself on Foxworthy 257 on Twitch. I'm going to get some cans. Are you going to get cans and watch with me?
We are live. All right, folks, we are live with Tell Us About Yourself with our guest this week, JVD. And joining me again this week is the co-host with the mostest, the SRG mom, Christy Overby. Thanks for joining me.
Just want to give my public service. Two sheep prevents COVID.
Two sheep apart. Yep.
2 sheep apart.
Okay, that's fair. That's why you need 2 sheep. That's the only reason to have 2 sheep. It's the measure, I think.
Yeah, 2 sheep.
Measure. All right. So the Twitch chat is firing off. Evil Ed has a question for you, JVD. Cheese or pickle? It's a very important question to Evil Ed the Cheesehead.
Cheese or pickle?
Yep.
You'd have to go ahead and define the context of that, because it could be cheese for certain things and pickle for other things.
It's just there is no defining it. It's just cheese or pickle. Evil Ed the Cheesehead really likes to know these things.
I would have to say cheese, though. If I had to choose between one or the other, I would have to say cheese.
All right. See? Not that hard. And then Evil Ed would like to know fox or sheep.
It's always 2 sheep. Come on.
See? All right. And Neko would like to know cats or dogs. Only one true answer there.
As much as I like the doggos, I also like the catos. So I'm actually going to say cats, even though my friend is a dog and doesn't want to leave me the hell alone.
Yeah, well, dogs are very needy. Cats are very independent. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. I was like my friend's cat just sleeps next to the dog, which is always entertaining.
All right, and then we're going to get the Cannoli's standard question before we get into normal questions, which is 3 favorite male wrestlers and 3 favorite female wrestlers.
Talking about SRG or just overall?
Oh, he's talking about real wrestlers.
Okay.
But, if you want to consider SRG people as real wrestlers, that's cool.
Well, there are
like
some.
a TJ Marconi guy, but he...
There are some. For me, 3 favorite tops from male, I gotta say Jeff Hardy. I'm a huge fan of Jeff Hardy. There's also an independent one that I like. His name is Killian McMurphy. Good friend of mine. I met him real. He's a really, really awesome guy. And I have to say my 3rd favorite in the male category would have to be, and people are gonna hate me for it, is Bobby Lashley. Okay. And the reason why is he has the strength and he's finally getting better with everything he has. So this is actually a little bit better of a run now than what he had before.
If they could just, get him a personality that was better than a wet paper bag, he'd be on fire. But I think that's what's holding him back.
I think it's because of the writers.
Yeah.
On the female side, I'm a huge fan of Bianca Belair. Love Bianca Belair. I gotta give Natalya her credit and her props where it's due, because of course. And Alexa Bliss. Now, Alexa Bliss is doing really well right now, but I just can't stand the doll. I don't know what that has to do with the playground idea. It's kind of not helping her at this point.
Some people like stuffed animals.
Yeah, but that doll is just really, really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad idea.
It's kind of starting to turn into an Easter egg thing because there's something on Twitter where one of the where they did a close up on Sonya Deville last night. I guess you can see the doll in the background. So I hate the concept too, but they might be kind of taking it a little bit like this, and making it a long-term play.
Well, that is what they did with the Fiends stuff
Mm-hmm.
puppets when he first started too. They would have them in the background of scenes and stuff to kind of build them up a bit. And we see how that ended. So I mean, there's nothing to worry
Right.
about. Nothing to worry
Nothing.
about at all.
But let's
Perfect
face it, though,
run.
WWE did bury a lot of people. They buried The Fiend. They buried Kevin Owens. They buried Daniel Bryan. They buried Edge.
Keith
I'm
Lee.
tired of that. I mean,
Yeah.
let's face
Well, yeah,
it. If you really want three of my favorite wrestlers, like completely, beside the three I mentioned, they're all in the other company. It's Kenny Omega, it is Adam Page, and it's Chris Jericho. Because they actually can tell stories. They know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say the WWE people don't know how to tell stories. I would say they're not allowed to tell stories.
Or that's not their focus. Their sports entertainment.
Yeah.
The psychology portion, I think, is totally missing.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
completely.
So here's something. Whenever we ask, people to name, Perry always asks, top 3 male, top 3 female. One that I haven't heard in quite a while is Tessa Blanchard. Sounds like you're a wrestling fan. How do you feel about Tessa?
I'm actually a fan of Tessa Blanchard. Only thing I'm not happy with is how she handled the fact when she was Impact champion in Mexico. That kind of hurt her because of, yes, we understand it was during a pandemic, but still, if you were allowed to go ahead and find a way to get out of the country to defend the title like you're supposed to, do it. I mean, I would give Tessa Blanchard as much credit in the world. She beat somebody who a friend of mine beat in SRG's Super Show. I'm not going to get names again, but you know who I'm talking about. Okay. She beat him to win the world title, much like my friend beat Sammy to win the world title, but that's beside the point. But Tessa, she has talent. She's really good, but she's got to get over the whole ego idea. It's kind of like Tennille Dashwood. It was all about her, which, by the way, since when did Caleb Conley get really bad fashion sense? I really think he needs to go shop at a better place.
Chris Statlander needs to take him out shopping or something. It's terrible. But just hearing this, I don't know you very well. But so my question is, when you, with SRG, was it the wrestling part that attracted you to it, or was it the gaming background? What brought you to SRG?
It was actually a little bit of both, because I've been a huge wrestling fan. I've been a huge wrestling fan for pretty much all of my life. But the fact that I've been able to play games such as Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic, and stuff like that, it got me into, saying, oh, this is a game. And because I was also playing Raw Deal, which is another popular game that Steve Resk got into that I was playing, I never played him in that game. I was like, wow, you know what? I think I can get into this. And I did. I clicked as soon as I got the Kickstarter with El Super Hombre and the Mercenator. I completely got into it. I knew what was happening. I had Ricochet. I did videos. There's videos on my YouTube, I think, still from when I first had the sets, the decks built and all that stuff like that. It was really a lot of fun. And me and my friends, we still play to this day because we're all fully vaxxed. And sometimes we hang out and have game upon game. We can get like 4 games in with like 30 minutes, depending on how high the crowd meter goes and how high we can hit the finishers early or not.
Right. You don't have Bobby O there to crank up that crowd meter.
Yeah, but I have cards to do it.
Yeah. Bobby O is, we refer to him locally as the crowd meter eater. He just cranks that crowd meter up.
I think Bobby O is awesome.
Meanwhile, the last game I played with him, we went to crowd meter 0. So.
Oh, jeez.
Poor Bobby.
Ouch.
Did not go well for him. But that's the way me and Bobby will always go. There'll be those times me and him have epic battles, and then it'll be the times one of us just like steamrolls the other.
Yeah,
And it's still the most fun in the game in the world. You can't not have fun with Bobby O.
Oh man, I played him once online over the thing, and he squashed me, and I was sitting there the entire time, and I was crying from laughing so hard. I seriously, it was funny. It was a great match too. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, great guy. All right, so Master Micah would like to know, what are your top 3 tag teams of all time?
Oh, oh, gotta do this to me, huh? I gotta say the top 3 that have been the most defining in my current version of the generations of wrestling. Gotta be the Hardys, Edge and Christian, and the Dudley Boys. Dudley Boys are 27-time tag team champions, the most decorated tag team of all time. They've won titles in WCW, if I believe correctly. I know they've won them in ECW and WWE, as well as TNA and the IWGP. You really can't go wrong with that. And
I don't know if they won. They didn't win WCW titles in WCW. They may have won them
in
after
WWE, that's what I'm
WWE put it.
thinking.
The
That's what I'm
WCW
thinking, the
titles, but yeah,
invasion.
yeah, they went from ECW to WWE, basically.
But it really, I mean, those 3 built a lot for tag teams now. I mean, the TLC match, you've never seen that until they did it. You know, the biggest moment, WrestleMania 17, X7, that spear from Edge to Jeff Hardy off the top of that humongous ladder. That's one of the moments in wrestling that's an impact that sticks in my mind to this day. You know, and while there are certain matches that I do think are great in wrestling, there are other matches that I think are really bad and do not deserve to have a place in wrestling. But the TLC match, those 3 teams defined it, and that's why I think those are the 3 for me, at least me currently in wrestling.
All right.
So which matches do you think don't have a place in wrestling?
Punjabi Prison, definitely.
Oh yeah.
That match is completely idiotic. I'm going to say the empty arena, or anything that involves the street fight outside in the Thunderdome, because to be honest, that's not real crowd. Okay.
Right.
Yes, there are real people, but the crowd noise is being pumped in. I mean, you can only press that bicycle pump so much to get the sound out. But definitely Punjabi Prison, the empty arena match, and in my personal opinion, if you really got to ask, they should not be doing, in my mind, and I don't know why I thought this, it's from TNA, Elevation X. That match almost would have killed Rhino or AJ or anybody that was in it. I can see Ultimate X, it's a great idea, but Elevation X was never a good idea.
What about intergender wrestling? Sami Callihan runs a promotion, and every year he has something called the Catalina Mixer, and it's all intergender matches.
To be honest, I have no problem with that. I think
I don't either.
I think female wrestlers can do just as good, if not better, than males. I mean, I have, like I said, my friend Sami Callihan, my friend Killian McMurphy, right now dating Sunny Kisses in AEW. He can probably put him up against somebody from the women's division there, or someone who's a a female wrestler, and they'll probably have a dynamite match. I'm pretty sure they'll actually have a dynamite match. I'm fine with what Sami Callihan wants to do with the Catalina Mixer. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun seeing Jessica Havoc versus Jimmy Havoc.
That was a match that my friend told me about. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. I liked it.
All right. So we have a question from Evie Fresh, the Phoenix. He would like to know your top 3 SRG competitors.
Everett, I hate you for this. Actually, my top 3, I actually have them as decks currently built. 3 would be Hold the Line Harry.
Okay.
2 would be Kenny by God Omega. And my number 1 deck, he should know it very well because he's played against it, Various.
All right.
Used to be Night Terror for a while, not anymore.
Solid choices.
So how many decks do you have built now? If those were your top 3 and they're all built, how many do you have Built,
three.
ready, playable today.
I'm trying to think here. There's 3 there. Then I have the Young Bucks and the Elite, Sheeples Champions. Young Bucks Elite, Sheeples Champions, that's 6. Sage. I have RVD, Sabu, Gangone, the Duke. I have like 11 or 12. And Ricochet, 12.
Oh.
And
I think it's too.
Harry's popping in the chat to say hello after you mentioned his name. I think
He's
he
like
has
Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
You mention him and
he has
he
one of
shows
those.
up.
He has one of those social media things that whenever his name things, he gets notifications. I think that's what it is.
It should happen. I mean, the funny thing is, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but in the discussion group, I called him out. I played him and I lost to him, which was fine. But he gave me that shot of the membership ring challenge. We played 2 out of 3 falls, and I was the first person to ever win the membership challenge against him. So that was a huge highlight for me.
Oh, nice.
See, Harry actually missed what you said again because he got notified after it was said, and he was hoping it was good. So I guess I'll have to find back on the replay.
Yeah, definitely. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'd do it again.
All
My
right.
friends hate that deck.
So if you had, you mentioned the membership ring challenge. There's a lot of great champions out there. So, you've got the underworld, you've got the trios, you've got the hardcore. If you had your pick, today Jeannie shows up, gives you a pick at any of those titles. Which title would you go after and what competitor would you use?
Competitor's easy. It's got to be various. The number 1 competitor that I've used. The deck has been updated the most. It's been really well for me. Title-wise, it's kind of hard to say because my friend Amir has the Tri-State title. That's a title I've been going for, but I'm going to leave that for him. I'm going to give him as many title defenses as he can get because I know he's a good guy. He's a good champion, good competitor in the game. He's even beaten me on countless attempts. I'm not going to go after. I really not going to go after Paul Verino because every time I fought Paul Verino, he killed me in like 2 to 3 turns. It's not
okay.
So
Paul Verino's off the table.
If I had to choose a title though, it wouldn't be the Intergalactic. It would not be the Hardcore. I would have to say I would want to go for either the Tornado Tag or the Underworld. If I had to go for the Tornado Tag, I would use the Young Bucks.
Okay.
Underworld though would be various.
Okay. That sounds pretty fair.
Solid choices of belts.
Yep.
All right.
We have more questions in the chat, Jeff?
Not at the moment. Just people saying that Jinder Mahal is the best, things like that. I guess after the Punjabi prison match reference, which is that's out of the bag. That's out of pocket.
So what were your thoughts on? You talk about empty arenas, but what were your thoughts on that match earlier between Randy Orton and Edge, where it was, what was it, their final match where they went all through the Performance Center?
I was watching it, and they said it was going to be the greatest match ever.
Right. How do you live up to that?
It didn't live up to the hype.
Right.
It didn't. It was a good match. Give them credit. But they hyped it up way too much. Hype was here. Match quality was about here. So it's not as, comparison. It's not even, I mean, I wish it would have been a little bit better. But again, you can only ask so much from guys who have been in the business for 20, 30 plus years now. And
right.
It's really, the whole thing with Matt Riddle, though, and Randy Orton is pretty funny.
Oh, yeah. I'm loving it.
I don't know. I think
RK Bro.
Yeah. I think that match between Edge and Randy Orton could have gotten like 8 stars in the Tokyo Dome. Would have been really good there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Come on, Dave Meltzer.
Everything gets extra stars in the Tokyo Dome.
Yep. Tokyo Dome is awesome, though.
Well, yeah. That's why you get extra stars. The crowd, they add stars. The better the crowd, the better the stars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you need a good crowd.
Keith and I went to to some dark matches, in oh shoot, I forget the name of the hall. It's where they film a lot of their dark matches for New Japan, and that was awesome. We were the like Korakuen Hall, yeah, during our honeymoon, and it was crazy. I mean, they just come into the crowd, and there's nobody there to move you. Even the the young lions don't move you. It's just you got to move, and that was amazing. So yeah, I can see why.
I mean, why would you want to move?
No,
You could
forget
end up with
extra
a
stars.
Kota Ibushi in your lap.
Well, Girthquake, when we went to a Ring of Honor show, they ended up with Flip Gordon, jumped off, landed right in their lap. They caught him. It was a pretty awesome moment.
Well,
But
I remember a live show. I was me and a couple of friends, my friend Rick mostly sitting next to me, and this is when the Bellas were still popular. So we're sitting like 2 rows from the ring, and I'm like this, and me and my friend are like this, and we got both of them the high five, which was awesome. But I think Kofi Kingston was the best part of it because he was with the New Day at this point, and we were all rooting for him, and it was great. The entire thing was great. You can't really beat live shows as opposed to televised. I think you get better with live and indie.
So speaking of live shows and relating it back to SRG, we talked with GM Calais about this a lot last week. Is in the age of COVID, have you been playing a lot online? Do you like it? Do you not like it? How have you adjusted your play?
I've played several times online, and it really hasn't adjusted my play at all. I still play like I play because it's the game, and it's a great game. I've been in a couple tournaments. I've been in one press 1P. I've been in one of wait for it, Schmidt's tournaments, and I didn't do so well in that. But there were other times where COVID was a thing, and I was actually at a couple live events. Now with COVID vaccines coming out, me being fully vaccinated, and everything, I know they're planning to bring some conventions back. I know Wizard World's coming back for a fact. I'm not too sure about PAX Unplugged. Not too sure about that. I know Too Many Games is coming back supposedly in October, and I'm hoping to go to those. But as terms for online play, I haven't really done much because a lot of the people around here are, like I said, fully vaccinated, so I can just go ahead and, hey, my friend would be like, you want to hang out? Sure. And we would go ahead and play at a safe spot.
Okay. Yeah, and community too changes. There's lots of community stuff. Jeff, do we've got more from the chat?
Nope. Chat's kind of quiet today. Mostly because I think only a few people were able to make it in with work schedule. But so talking about live play and whatnot, why don't you tell us about how you got started in AU Homes and what you've done there, and because I know you had a big part of that.
So the funny thing is, when I got started at AU Homes, it wasn't anything big. I had Ricochet, I had Mercenator, I had El Super Hombre, I think I had Big Shot and the Rising Sun. I think I had several people, and I was changing out one deck for another if I ever had to play as Ricochet because I didn't have a full deck built for him. I started teaching people like my friend Lou, Mike Sissons, who I know you've had on here a couple weeks ago. Jeff Riley, Shady Jeff, obviously. I taught people like him how to play. I taught the Deanses how to do it. I taught my now ex-fiance how to play. I taught a lot of people how to play. And then we came up with this idea to try to run a federation in AU Homes. And anybody that was from AU Homes or anybody in any one of the other stores, come on in, play the game, have a good time. Let's make this community amazing. We've had several events where Steve Rask was there, along with Sam, and along with Paul Verino and Google Docs Dan and all them. We've had those events. They were huge. Let me actually see something real quick. I'm really trying to see if I can do this without killing the photo. It's not going to be easy. I'm going to kill the photo. Yeah, so that's going to suck. I'll just try to see if I can do this then with moving this computer. It's what? Sound happens, issues that happens. It's the picture right below Daniel Bryan. I don't know if you can see it well enough. Let me go zoom into it.
I don't know. I might get motion sick at this point. Oh, I see it.
Okay. Yep.
First thing we have with Sam. All those people.
Your audio's a little quiet when you do it that way, so.
Yeah, that was the first one we had with Steve there. That was our first one. And it was huge. It was a big deal because we played the game the way we wanted. We had it. And it just everything was great. We had a good time, and I mean, now that the company has changed ownership, we've been going in a different direction with it. Still a great direction. I'm just trying to see now after the store, if the store opens sometime soon, which we're hoping it does, what the plans are going to be, what the setup is. But a lot of people that were from homes credit me for teaching them the game, and it's the least I could do because it's something fun and it gets people to rethink the card game. Because people, like I said, they've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic for so long. They don't see a game like this come by every day. And now that SRG has done so much with it, I've backed every single Kickstarter, including this current one. It's just something, a way to appreciate the game and a way to appreciate the people that are a part of it.
Okay. We have a question from Practice Site and Twitch. He would like to know if you could design some of your favorite wrestlers for Super Show, what would you want them to do in the game?
I have no idea. That's a good question. Let's see. Well, they have pretty much who I like from AEW already in the game. I would really, if I had to choose like people to go with the game wise, for Jeff Hardy, it's kind of hard because he's a high flyer, and RVD is the same way, so that wouldn't work too well because I would have almost the same idea as RVD that Jeff Hardy has. But then if you got like the Dudley Boys, like any tag maneuver or any maneuver that has tag in the card text, gives like a plus ability or something like that, like externals +1 or shuffle a card from discard pile into the deck. I've thought of a lot of different things, but those are a couple of the base ideas.
Yeah, if you did the Dudley Boys, anytime table came up, you could definitely do something with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love table.
All right.
Table's
Evil Ed. Question is, who would you like to play when it all opens up? I guess people in person.
People in person who I want to play the most when it opens up. Beside you,
Usually
Fox,
the answer.
Because I know Fox lives close by, so beside him.
Yeah.
Usually the answer for this is like Bobby O. Everybody wants a piece of Bobby O in person.
No, there's one person in particular that I want, and I'll call him out, and I'll play him online if he wants to play online, because I've never been able to beat him. Every convention I went to, every event that I went to that I played him, I lost. And that would be the current Tornado GM, Loudmouth Leo Larynx. I think because not only is he a good player, he's a good guy. He's able to help people out with the game, and overall, I want to try to see if I can finally get a win against him. I doubt it's going to happen, but I can try at least.
Meh. You got to get him after one of his celebrations.
Or the next day.
Yeah.
Early the next day.
Yeah, just avoid the party trick. That's all.
Yeah, no party trick.
No party
Another
tricks.
another person I would actually want to fight, but I can't get out there. The jerk himself, Eddie Fury. I really want to go against Eddie Fury. I think that would be a fun time. Just so I can play against either his main character or the Jerk of Cirque. It wouldn't matter to me. It would be a lot of fun.
Well, he's one of those people that show up at events and travel, so you never know when you're going to run into
Mm-hmm.
him at like an event. I mean, when places like Highlander have creator card events, you never know. I mean, I know
I really love
Rushmania was
Highlander.
very exclusive, only to the a certain upper percentage of people could get that because very limited tickets. But you know, events like that, you can. That's when all the world comes together, kinda, in small doses. So it's
Hmm.
always something to look forward to.
I love Boomtown events.
Yeah, yeah. He's having one in July, I believe.
Yep, I want to try to see if I can make it.
Yep,
What, Highlander?
yep. At
Hmm.
Highlander, create a card event, and then people are going to go see some wrestler named T.J. Marconi. That he's probably a jobber.
I
Yeah,
bet he likes pickles.
Yeah. No, yeah,
I,
the weirdest thing about him is that he thinks cotton comes from sheep. So,
Alrighty then.
TJ. All right, Ken Fouché would like to know, is there a competitor that you have not played yet but are looking forward to building?
black lipstick.
All right.
Definitely black lipstick. I think it'd be because I saw the tag team. I'm like, you know what? I could build this really, really well, and it would be scary. I just got to make sure I have the right cards. If not, I guess payday Friday next week I'll be buying other cards.
All right.
So who's the competitor that you sit down across from them and you're like, oh man, not this competitor. You know, you just have a bad streak against them, or you just haven't been able to beat them, whether it's
My
whoever plays it or the actual competitor themselves.
my friend Lou in the mercenary deck, and the biggest reason why I blame myself.
You build it.
I helped build it.
Yep.
I gave him all the cards that say stop this barrier card. I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? He's actually now also building Sean Spears, which I would love to play test against.
Nice.
Put various against him to Armageddon.
All right.
I mean,
So, EV Fresh would like to know, if you made a competitor, what would your competitor name and gimmick be?
I can't find it, but I have it actually made up already. I have one actually made up. I made up like a million people over the course of just for the heck of it. I've created myself. I've created a version of Harley Quinn, which now that I've seen Harleen Quinn, I can't use it. Kind of sucks. But I've created my friend Mike Sissons. I've created my friend Chris. I've created a lot of people. If it was me, it would definitely be the name I used when I was in Backyard, the Demon, Johnny V. I've thought of like 25 million gimmicks. I just don't know which one's the right one. My highest stat would be power. Lowest would probably be either technique or submission. I haven't decided yet on those two.
Okay. Sounds good. Practice Site has another question. Do you have any tabletop RPG experience? If so, what did you play?
Yes, a lot. I played Fate Accelerated, D&D 3.5, D&D 5th Edition, Index Card RPG, Fate Core, Dungeon World. I've played Feast of Legends, which is a Wendy's tabletop RPG because it was funny, and I have it. I played a lot, and I also currently run a 5th Edition homebrew campaign for Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm really excited about that. A lot of my good friends are, playing the game. They're having a good time, and I want to give them what I can as a DM, and I'm just finding it to be a lot of fun.
If you saw my eyes glaze over, it's not because I'm being rude. It's because I found the game through wrestling, so I'm not much of a gamer. So everything you just said, none of it made sense.
Basically, for the mainstream, it translates into he's played D&D, 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 D&D. That's how most people take that.
Yeah.
The Fate Core and Fate Accelerator are different versions of RPGs.
Yeah.
They're not D20 based. They're all
Well, I mean, but For someone who
And
has
then
no experience with RPGs, they might as well all be called Dungeons and Dragons.
some dragons, yeah, pretty much.
I mean, as Practice Site knows, who answers the question, I could speak for probably about 30, 40 hours in a row just about RPGs and game theory, because
Has he not
I've
seen?
been
Has
doing
he
it for
not
so long.
seen?
But yeah.
Has he not seen JVD Studios? I have videos right now about D&D that are up right now, and I'm going to make one as soon as we're completely done here.
Well,
I have one coming
So,
up.
that's a good plug.
so
Why
tell
don't you
us
have it on the
about.
site? Yeah.
I also have right here for Critical Role, Vox Machina, the one campaign they started out with. I don't know how topic for $10. I was like, sold.
So tell us about your YouTube channel. So I wasn't aware of it.
It's called JVD Studios. It's got 270 some odd subscribers right now. I'm hoping for more. I do basically D&D videos now, a lot of them, but there are videos on there where I've done Super Show. Definitely, I had to show the love for the game and how to get it out there. I also have gameplays of certain other games, whether it be Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy. I'm a huge game show fan. It's just for me, it's a way for me to go ahead and get out there and have a good time and just do something that I think is not normal for most people, except for those out there that do have a YouTube. They know what it is, and it's just something for me to escape the real world every once in a while, kind of like playing this and playing D&D. It's an escape from the real world, and it gets me to go ahead and just have a good time and do something I love.
Gotcha. How long is your YouTube channel been up?
So good question. I've been here for 2 years. I've been with my grandmother's for a while. I want to say about 8, 9 years. And when I first started, the channel was completely different. I looked back at a couple of the older videos, and I'm like, I did not sound like that. Oh crap, I do sound like that. It's interesting. It really is interesting. But times have changed. A lot has changed. Somewhere around here, I have something. I have a lot of somethings around here. My microphone's somewhere. My lapel mic is somewhere. It's somewhere over here. I got business cards for DJing and all that crap. That's a little side job. I do Quizzo sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, gotcha.
Which I've yet to actually get back into because no other bars are opening right now. And as soon as they do, I'll be happy because I'll get back in and do some more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, everybody's gonna want to get out. I know in Ohio a lot of stuff is opening up. I was in a wedding in Iowa this weekend, 100 people, no masks. I was like, well, here you go, Iowa. But let's kind of get it back to SRG.
Well, we do have
What
a question from Candyman.
you do?
And,
Okay.
And hers is very SRG related. Candyman Dan, or Candyman Dan, or Candy Ma'am. I always put her above him, so I kind of mess those names up at times. So which one? Which one do you prefer? The Dan or the Ma'am?
I gotta go Candyman.
Oof.
Ooh. I think that's two in a row.
Candyman Dan, yeah, but I think she's got Candyman's just there. It's just there. It's just there.
All right. She also had another question, which she usually asks. So, favorite movie and what other country would you live in if you didn't have to live in this one?
Japan or England for the second one. For the first one, my favorite movie, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original version. Gene Wilder, nothing like him. Johnny Depp was not good enough. Got to be Gene Wilder for me. I can recite that last part. Me and my friend can recite that last part word for word, and it's kind of scary. Me and him do that all the time.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is better than Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
100%.
So, SRG related, what entrance card is your favorite at this point?
I have 3.
Okay.
It's gotta be Director of Operations.
Okay.
Chaos.
All right.
And funny thing is, you're actually the third one, the SRG Mom.
Nice.
All right.
Well, thank you.
To round out the top 5, though, if I had to pick 5, Schlitz, the one with Schlitz, Giggles and Schlitz would be there, and Grand Machine would round out the top 5.
All right.
Not a true Survivor fan.
I'm a fan of True Survivor. That would be top 10, but
Gotcha.
I haven't played True Survivor in a long, long time.
I only
haven't
mentioned
played
it
that
because
one.
Mallory plays it all the time, and I'm like, really, kid? But
Mallory's
that's
good.
why. That's why.
Mallory.
That's why I just drive her there to places
I
and
think
keep
she's afraid
everybody
your
alive.
entrance car will give her detention if she said something wrong. So, you know. Oh man, Cannoli's upset there's no Positively Perry. Well,
I don't actually have it. I don't
see.
have
Didn't
Positively
that
Perry
just
as
come
an
out?
entrance.
Is that the one with him in the tank?
No, that's something with the ring general.
Oh, okay.
Interview with Positively Perry is the one that came out last year with the Uber star on it.
Yeah, I don't have that one. I have 3 Director of Operations, though.
Oh God, yeah. I mean,
I don't know how the hell I have 3 of them, but I have 3.
there's so many directors out there. At one point, I had 3 foil ones.
I'm really looking for something that I don't want to spend $150 on.
Yeah, that's fair. But it's very hard to beat that champion at Kickstarter for just general usage.
Yeah.
Scott Winterbauer got the foil, or got one today in a mystery box, I believe.
Yep.
Talk
Yeah.
about the golden ticket, Willy Wonka.
Wow.
We just
Yep.
pulled that all together.
Yeah, there was a run of 30 mystery boxes. One had a champion at Kickstarter.
He got it.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yep.
Good for him, man.
Oh yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. It is always good to just get one the champion at Kickstarter to mysteriously show up in your mailbox.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes, it does.
Bombada. Yeah, I can't mention Kickstarter without saying that Bombada actually gifted me mine as a thank you one night when I was talking about how I was going to buy one in a
I-
week or two, and he's just like,
I played him in Boontown. He beat me, but he looked at me and he said, "You're running your deck right, but there would be a couple cards I would fix." So the fact that he's also a genuine guy, I
Oh, yeah.
really think I would really like to play him too. He's a fun guy. I just laughed every time I played.
yeah,
Every time.
it's so good that he's no longer in Impact. He was not.
Mhm.
He was too good for Impact.
Yeah,
Too
I
good
agree
for
with that.
Impact. He was probably like the best person to ever be in Impact.
And they did him dirty.
Funny story in the Overby household. Whenever something goes wrong, the internet goes out, mud gets tracked on the carpet, and I know that it's Mallory. I'll be like, Mallory, who did this? And she every single time, Mom, Bombada did it. So everything that goes wrong in our house, it's Bombada. The internet goes out and you hear, dang it, Bombada. So yeah, he gets blamed for everything.
Well, we should blame Impact because it caused a lot of problems.
Well,
Yeah. I
Bombada's
don't know if
the
I
only
could
way
get her
go.
to switch from Bombada to Impact.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
She has no beef with Impact. She's got lots of beef with Bombada.
Yeah, and that's why Bombada is trying to get himself a trios title shot.
Yeah, I can't wait to see who he picks at WrestleMania for her to go after.
Yeah.
See,
I'm wondering if he's going to do her dirty with Polka.
Who does she play with?
She
My
plays
Girls.
with My Girls.
The My Girls trio.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's new entrance card called My Champion. It's pretty awesome.
There's actually my favorite trio for this game that I always have that's built and ready to go. You just have to do one thing, and that's be Elite.
Yeah, Elite is a strong one.
My friend
Though
hates that
some
deck.
recent trios have been overshadowing them in power recently.
Mm-hmm.
Their trios are coming out pretty damn strong. There's just one called The Line. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I love
Trash.
The Line, especially because I know you're on it.
I'm not on the card. I'm not actually on the card.
That's actually one of them that I wanted to try to grab myself, and I'll probably end up buying it on next week because I know The Line's a great trio, especially this Hold On Harry. His stuff is just great. That's why I have him as my top 3 decks, and I love playing with it so much. It's so much fun to play against.
Yeah.
Play against people like
The Line is a very good combo between Cannoli's practice sites and Harry's gimmicks, which makes it very powerful for trios.
And very, very, very annoying for opponents.
Yeah. I mean, that's the
That's
goal
why I
of
want to be
trios.
evil. That's why I want to be that evil. That's why my friend hates my Elite deck I play that, and then he's like, I hate you. I'm like, yeah, you're welcome. Just do that. Just make sure Freak Show knows what they're doing. Just make sure they know what they're doing, and then I'll super kick your face off.
All right, folks, we got about 15 minutes left in the show. So if you got any questions, let me know. If you're in the Zoom, you can use the raise hand feature
Mm.
to raise hand and ask them yourself. Oh, there, someone raised their hand. EV
Oh,
Fresh. So we will go with him first.
Hey,
he's
JVD.
he's got to brag with the title of
I'm not
DWA.
bragging. No, I got a two-parter question for you relating to the DWA.
Okay.
What is your your favorite DWA moment and your favorite DWA championship moment?
I've only held one championship, so that's not even my defining moment. That was 24/7, so that doesn't mean anything at that point. Favorite moment with DWA, it would have to be the and this is no offense because I know your world title match was amazing. When you beat Dean's cleanly in that Iron Man match by like blowing him out, but that's beside the point.
Hmm.
I think my favorite moment though was the event Steve and Sam and Dan and everybody was around when we did for my friend Tommy, and we had that amazing event. A lot of people there, and it was great. I knew my friend was looking down that day. As for championship moment, I would have to say the match that uh, it was you. Who did you fight? It was you and Amir
Yeah.
for the world title. That match was purely amazing.
Yeah, I remember that match. That was pretty good. And now Amir is your new tri-state champion.
Yes, I love it.
And I'll just continue to say it. OSB is tri-state champ. Thank you for having me on.
All right. Speaking
Thank
of
you,
people
Amir.
of championship material, the Nightmare King has a question.
Can we get him on camera?
What's going on,
There we go.
JVD?
Hey, Mike.
Question to ask you. If you were in WWE and you have a choice of a tag team partner and you get a chance for one of these three brands for a tag team title shot, NXT, Raw, or SmackDown, who would be your tag team partner and which brand would you go after?
Good question. I would say SmackDown for the tag team titles easily. I think Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler are great heels and great tag team champions, so that match would be really awesome. As for the person to pick, that would be kind of hard because there's so many good talents out there in WWE on both sides. If I'm allowed to pick anyone from the rosters from any brand and cross reference them or bring them over to another show, if it wouldn't be Jeff Hardy, it would definitely be Matt Riddle because those two are, I would like to team up with either one. That'd be awesome.
Okay, well, that's all for me.
All right.
That's an awesome question, though.
Yeah.
Awesome question.
Thanks.
Question, man. Yeah. See, now, if it was me, I'd go with Braun Strowman because he could win the titles with a 10-year-old, so I wouldn't have to do anything. I just get that championship paycheck. I mean, like, I don't know. That just seems like the good idea for me.
That was great.
Got to get that galaxy brain, man. I mean, didn't get hurt. Just get to sit there and watch. It's great.
That's like Pat the Thinker level
Yeah.
intelligence right there.
Yeah.
I thought that would be great. I could win the titles with the 10-year-old. What else I gotta do?
Yeah. I mean, like,
I was out thought on that one.
yeah. Who wants to actually get beat up? You just get Braun Strowman to do it for you.
Pretty much.
And yeah, you definitely go to SmackDown because on Raw they call him a boat and stuff like that. I hear, and it's kind of weird. Their new announcer doesn't know the difference between boats and trains.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who. I don't know if it's the new guy or if it's Pat McAfee.
No, it's the new guy on Raw.
Okay.
Yeah,
Pat
Adnan
McAfee
Burke.
knows what he's doing.
Because I know McAfee. I know McAfee's running both.
Yeah.
Which
Adnan Burke, didn't he do baseball? He was something at ESPN. I know he did a lot of.
Good baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good crossover.
He's a nice
Baseball
guy.
and wrestling are pretty much the same, so you can just cross those people.
Totally.
Yeah, we just
Totally.
worry about their batting average when they come up to the ring.
Yeah, their OBP.
Yeah, perfect synergy between the two. All
The
right.
OBP is always 100 because they can make it to the ring on time. Taker might take 17 minutes, but at least he'll make it on base.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, being able to get 17 minutes to walk to the ring is good because sometimes those ramps are long. You know, you need the
Especially
time.
WrestleMania. Yeah.
And they don't do that old-fashioned WrestleMania thing where you get to ride a little cart to the ring anymore. Man,
Nope.
to live in that era, having a little scooter.
Undertaker used to ride his motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That was a great era.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
He was supposed to be heel, but the fans ate it up.
Yep.
It was that era where the people who were heels were faces, and the people who were faces were heels.
Heels. Yeah, pretty much. And I thought it was great.
Yeah, like for some reason, people would boo all those right to censor people who just wanted to help protect our children. I don't get it.
I hate it right to censor. I thought it was a bad idea. It was a bad gimmick.
I loved Ivory in it. She was awesome.
She looked good, but too bad her career kind of suffered because of it.
Yeah.
The gimmick didn't work out well.
Yeah, I don't think her career suffered because of that. I think her career suffered because it's the WWE. But
that's a very good case.
Yeah, women's wrestling isn't very even now that well thought of in general. I mean, if you replace, let's say, the Iconics with Eva Marie, how much do you actually value women's wrestling?
Yeah, I was falling asleep last night, and Keith's like, "Christy, wake up! It's your favorite wrestler." And I woke up, and I was like, "I'm in hell. This is wrong."
It was a nightmare.
My friend who is the $1 million champion for 2K. He was on our group. The group me and a couple of our guys are in. And he said, "I saw Eva Marie, and I don't want her around. I don't know why she got rehired. There were many reasons why he wasn't a fan. I'm not going to get into them, but I also don't want her back. She did not have talent. She did not display talent. She's not able to do any if they give her a mic and tell her to do that, she might have a chance.
No, she's dumb as a rock.
Put her in the ring, let her flop every time. Let her be worse
than
Mom.
The last time she was in NXT, the whole crowd noise was "You can't wrestle." I still hold a grudge against Brian Kendrick for training her.
Fair.
I forgot he did that. I totally
forgot. Oh yeah, Impact comes on and I just double bird him. I'm like, "You jerk."
Who knows? You never know. It could be like she could come back and know what she's doing. She might have taken this time off to train and learn how to do the sport. You never know. It's like it's like those Starship Trek shows that they're celebrating today. Like you had the one about A New Hope, which was kind of sucky, and then they had the one that came back where the dude cut the kid's hand off. It was great. Something like that. I don't know. I don't watch Stargate.
It's kind of funny though because you mentioned that she could easily, learn to take that time to train. Or she would have taken that time to go ahead and explore about 17 more ways to get wardrobe malfunctions in the beginning of matches. Personally. Because, that's
or she pitched a fit in Australia because they wouldn't let her on a plane because she was dressed so skimpily.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into, like I said, I'm not going to get into reasons, my friend.
Okay. Oh, Young Allergy helped me out in the chat. Yeah, it's the May the Borg be with you or something day. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think I heard something like that.
Yeah.
But, I'm not too sure.
Thanks for picking that up for me, Allergy. You're a good guy.
You're all right.
All right. So we got 5 minutes left. And I believe this is the point where Christy likes to turn things around on people.
I do. So I'm not sure if you've watched the show before, but we reserved the last 5 minutes. You have the chance to ask Jeff, me, or anyone in the chat a question of your choosing. So fire away.
Okay, I do have one for Jeff. Okay. And that would be if there was one event, live event, that you could go to an SRG that you never went to, what would it be and why?
Well,
next week.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, yes, it's definitely 100% Rustmania. Uh, because it's going to be the first live event happening after so long. And I've only been to one real live event, and that was Highlanders Create a Card in 2020. So, like, it's going to really be my second real in-person event. So, yeah, no, that is definitely. I mean, I'm even getting like hotel rooms and things like that. Like,
Mhm.
normally I hate traveling, so we'll see how it goes.
Um,
Well, we can't wait to see you.
true.
You
I'm
say you
wondering
say
here.
that now. Just wait. You will rue this day. You will rue it.
All right, May 4th, Borg Day. I've got it on my calendar.
Yep.
Through this day, JVD was witness. No.
Yes. And Candyman is reminding people that I do hate hugs.
Okay.
So I shouldn't send you a bag of those Hershey hugs. Okay.
Well, I can't eat candy to begin with, but yeah, they meant
All
the
right.
physical act of it.
So Christy, your favorite title design in SRJ?
I'm sorry, my favorite what?
Title design or title belt overall in SRJ?
Well, the only one that I've really seen in person is the trios belt that Mallory holds. I think it's pretty awesome. So I'm a fan of it.
What about you, Jeff?
I heard, thanks, Mom.
Design title belt. So, I would have to say the best looking belt in the SRG, and it's only because the second best one, I think, is not safe for children. So I would go with the intergalactic belt. The second belt is the U.S. title, but like I know Andrew has to like put like safety things on it because it could cut his children, and his daughter. You got to worry about that.
We the people.
Yeah, but the intergalactic belt is absolutely amazing looking belt.
I haven't had a chance to see it yet. I think that would be pretty cool to see.
Well, hopefully,
Um,
at some point, EV beats Sal for it, and he can bring it to in person and show it off.
and have two belts in DWA.
Yeah.
I like that idea. Um,
I'm a big fan of the original 24/7 belt too that we debuted at Origins. It was cardboard and had a clock on it.
Yep.
Marcel has it now, but it that was so much fun.
I think Marcel is awesome. Just to give everybody out there my personal opinion. I think about Marcel. To the evil cheese, if he's watching still, is there a moment that you have had that was your most memorable one? Your most memorable moment that you experienced?
Yeah, we'll give him a minute for the chat to catch up. I don't know if he's still around.
I know Everett has like 5.
Yeah. We'll see if Ed has an answer to that question.
But overall, though, I think like I said, I'm gonna just say for the record, though, I think this game is great. I think we're just gonna continue to grow, and if we can get more people to do it, we can easily make this the biggest card and dice game the world's ever seen. Not just now, but forever. They can have other card and dice games try to come, and it would fail compared to Super Show. All I'm gonna say.
All right. So Evil Ed said going to Jersey and playing at the Rumble while he was and when it was or whatever it was called and meeting all the guys there.
Rumble to Rumble. Okay.
Yep.
Big question for Jeff. If the store does actually have an open AU Homes, would you be willing to take the trip?
I probably will. It's gonna depend on timing and whatnot because
you're close to Philly, right?
I am in Philly. So by close, I am inside the city limits.
I'm actually I work in South Philly, so.
Yeah, I am in the Roxborough section.
Nice.
Yeah, near where Shady Jeff used to live, because he comes from the same neighborhood. So, small world. So.
How close is it to a Chicky and Pete's? Like that's how I judge where I am in Philly, because their crab fries, amazing.
So honestly, where I live is probably the farthest away you can get from any of the Chicky Pete's and still be inside the city of Philadelphia. Because there's one in South Philly, there's one in the Northeast, but there's not one close to where I live.
There's one in Drexel Hill. There's one in Plymouth Meeting.
There's one in Plymouth Meeting now. See, I don't even meet at Chuck E.
The mall.
Cheese, so. Oh,
By the mall.
yeah. So that mall's kind of lame. So I haven't been there in probably 10 years.
The last mall I went to was KOP. Well,
Yeah.
that's not near me. Was KOP.
Yeah.
And I actually drove there once.
I mean, to be fair, I think the King of Prussia Mall is still the largest mall in America now, for retail space, and it actually might be land. Them and the Mall of America have been going
Beating
back
it
and
out.
forth for the last like 15 to 20 years
Yep.
over like each expanding to each become the biggest mall in America. But not as many
I
people know
wouldn't have
about
thought King of Prussia is that big.
God, well, it used at one point it was two like separate big malls that were owned
Hmm.
like the thing, but now they finally put them back. They finally put them together to make one super mall. But
Okay, yeah, I was just there like 2 or 3 years ago, and I didn't think it was all that big.
You will
yeah,
get lost.
yeah. So one of the things is the Mall of America, and like, uh, so when they do the area of the mall, they count all the satellite places that are on the thing, which increases the
Oh,
size of King of Prussia. But the mall, King of Prussia wins on retail space all the time because the Mall of America obviously includes their amusements, which isn't
right.
really isn't retail space. So it's one of those things they tend to try to go back and forth on the owners of those malls, and I don't know where it stands now with COVID probably slowing down a lot of the construction, but they've been
Yeah.
every time one gets bigger, the other one starts building to get it better.
Building to compete with it, which is funny.
Yeah, but yeah, King of Prussia is a big mall. I go in there occasionally, not super often. I mean, but I game near there at a game store, so I'm always in that area, and the traffic is always horrible.
Yeah.
All right. So we are a little bit past 7:32, so that is generally when we will call it a wraps. Thank you for coming on. It was a great show.
It
Thank you,
was. Thank
Christy,
you for
for
having me.
coming out and helping me again. And everyone, we will see you next week.